Hey, what's going on? This is Ola coming to you live from my Empire Pro studios. Let's have some fun. Today we're talking about online ads, PPC for wholesale real estate. That's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to give you some insights, possibly to protect you and your funds and your resources before you burn them up. Okay. So we're going to have some with regards to that. Let's see here. Let me just make sure that we're live. Resources. Yes, we're live. All right. So, if you're, let's look here. All right, cool. So let's get started. So, real estate wholesaling real estate, PPC, online ads. Should you market online? Um, this chapter is actually chapter 15 on the new book, Real Estate Money Secrets, that we're wrapping up. So, chapter 16 is the next chapter that we're proofreading today. I'm going to give you some insights before we get into the book. And then also, I'm going to record it. We're going to record it together, okay? The audio book. I already have a book in the market. It's called Smart Real Estate Wholesaling. You can pick this up easily at real estate wholesaling. Sorry, smartrealestateWholesaling.com. That's where you go to grab a copy of this book, the free PDF. Also, it's available in paper like this, also available in audio. It's also available in Kindle. It's available on Amazon. Basically, anywhere you buy your books from, iTunes.com, audible.com, and all those nice and fancy places. All right, so with that being said, so we're in the midst of proofreading the brand new book, Real Estate Money Secrets, where that book is will serve as the fundamental, most basic, everything foundational you need to know about this game. Basically, these things, if you don't know those things, you will struggle. Okay, foundational. So there's some foundational details you need to know, or at the very minimum, you should have a book handy that you can reference anytime you need to review things. And that's the purpose behind Real Estate Money Secrets. For the purpose of why real estate here, real estate is end all be all in certain respects. But of course, you need to understand certain things. So now, real estate wholesaling. What is wholesaling? Wholesaling is the art and science of finding deeply discounted real estate properties. That's it. But of course, as well as turning it for profit. Okay, because without profit, what's the point? We're not in any business, right? So you need to make profit so you can do it over and over again. So the idea of finding deeply discounted properties. So for example, a property is worth $100,000 in today's market, not 12 years ago's market, not 12 years from now's market. Right now, there are comparable properties, at least five, that basically justifies that $100,000, and they are all within 1 mile radius, right? And they were all sold, not listings, not active listings, not under contract, actually closed and sold, right? And those properties justify the amount, the sales price justifies that this property, the subject property, is worth $100,000. So we know that the property is worth $100,000. If you can purchase or put the property under contract, you found a property that the owner is willing to sell you, go under contract right now for 65% or lower than that of $100,000. That means for $65,000 or lower, less the amount, the estimated cost of repair, then you're in the wholesaling game. That's basically what wholesaling is. Now, besides that, there are some other creative solutions that can work for the game, as long as the seller is motivated. So if the seller is motivated, there's literally nothing that can stop the sale, as long as the seller is motivated to sell now, not next week, not I don't need to sell, not hey, if the offer is right, not any of those things. Basically, they need to sell now. That's what motivation means. Motivation does not mean I want to sell. Motivation means, for you as a wholesaler, it means I need to get rid of these things. Okay, that's what motivation is. Now, for a realtor, for a real estate agent, motivation may simply means I want to sell. Okay, but again, a real estate agent does a different thing. That's a different profession. We use them heavy when we fix and flip, right? But real estate wholesaling, a wholesaler, you do a different thing entirely. Your job as a wholesaler primarily is marketing, as you will realize here in a second, which is why we're covering the topic online ads and PPC. Primarily, your job is marketing, but from a real estate standpoint, you need to secure deals at a discount. That's basically what you do. So, uh, we simply needed to get that out of the way. That's what wholesaling is. But what does that have to do with online ads and PPC? What is PPC? PPC means pay per click. Okay. So, for example, if you stumbled into my video because you saw an ad, right, and you clicked on it, I paid a certain amount of cents, dollars, right? Maybe a fraction of a dollar, right? For every time you clicked on an ad like that. So we call it pay per click. Okay. So the newest and the most mainframe media that exists right now is social media and the internet. That's it. Okay. Not the TV, not radio, not newspaper, none of those things. Okay. The way you're watching me right now, 99.999% chances on a phone that's connected to an internet. Okay. Or maybe you're watching me on a laptop if you're one of the few, right? Either way, you're watching me by way of the internet network. Okay. So that's the mainstream media today, 2019 and beyond. Okay. That's what the mainstream media is. And if you understand that your primary job as a wholesaler is marketing, then you understand the three M's. You understand the market, which is basically the people you're talking to. You understand media, right? And then media, market, and message. Okay, you have a message. Okay, so those are the three M's that you need to understand, and you need to understand and identify what part of the wholesaling game is the media, what part of it is the message, and what part of it is the market. So the people you are targeting and you're trying to talk to is essentially the market. Okay, the medium form that you're going to communicate with them through, the thing that connects you with your end audience is the medium. So as a group we call them media. Social media, internet, right? Used to be what? Newspaper. Then all of a sudden, then radio came. Then all of a sudden there was TV. Then all of a sudden there was internet. And guess what? The phone. Okay, the phone is still the evergreen, the cheapest form of medium if you understand this game, and the easiest way for you to get started in the business. Okay, the phone is still a medium form for marketing. Yes, all right. It's still by way of, yes, the internet is connected to the phone these days, but also traditional phone. We still use it as a phone, right? So if I just said anything that made any sense to you or eventually in this video, please make sure, please give me a thumbs up, okay? Because that helps me spread the message even further. Remember, message, right? We're trying to get the message out. So your message as a wholesaler is that you buy houses, right? You buy houses. That's what you do, right? And basically you want to get that message out to who? The market. What's the market? The market for you is people will need to get rid of a property, okay, because you need them to sell it to you at a discount. Why would they sell a property that's worth $100,000 to you at 65, 55, $45,000? Why would they do that? Because it's a trade-off between time for them. Okay, if they have to go to the market to a real estate agent, they have to list it on the market, and that will take time. And they have to fix up the house, and everything has to be perfect. And they have to have money in case the buyer comes back and say, we need you to fix this, fix that, right? They need to have money. But oftentimes a small percentage of the market that can make you a fortune has basically said, I don't want to do any repairs. I don't want to deal with a realtor. I don't want to pay commissions. I don't have money to pay closing costs, right? I, as a matter of fact, there's not any money to pay these people, right? I just need to sell. I need to get rid of this property. Those people are your audience, essentially, aka the market. Okay. The message: we buy houses. Uh, we give you an offer on your house, 24 hours offer, 12 hours offer on your house, right? That's essentially what you do. Are we making sense now? So we identify the market, the message, right? And the media that we're going to talk about today is online, the internet. Okay, so if you this message, what I'm about to share with you here, it's only good for you if you've ever closed a deal. And hopefully you've closed 4 or 5 deals. If you haven't closed 4 or 5 deals, I will strongly suggest that you start with the medium form, a phone. Okay, meaning cold calling. Yes, cold calling, but of course you have a message that provides value, right, to the people you're going to be calling. And it's not exactly cold calling because it's a targeted message for a targeted market. Okay, meaning you're only having a conversation with them beyond 30 seconds if they're actually open to what you have to offer. There's value to be provided, which is the first pillar. So if you see me talk about the 3 pillars, which I spoke about heavily in the book, Smart Real Estate Wholesaling, you can find it at smartrealestatewholesaling.com. The first pillar is value. If there is no value, it doesn't matter what kind of medium form you use, you will fail. So make sure there's value. So of course there's value because we're offering people that need to get rid of a property the platform to get rid of the property. Okay. All right. So we're talking about the medium form. So the medium form we're going to talk about is online, pay per click, right? Online ads. Maybe you place an ad on YouTube, you want to place an ad on Google, or you want to place an ad on the good old Facebook, right? If you haven't closed your 4th or 5th deal, I would shy away from this strategy. But if you just want to learn it, you want to sit around and learn this, it's okay to learn it. It's a fantastic way to scale your business at some point, okay? But if you're looking for your first deal, the place you want to go to right now is www.3pillarsystem.com. www.3pillarsystem.com, where I basically walk you step by step through the cheapest form of getting your message, we buy houses, to the market using the cheapest form of medium, which is the phone. Okay, and using automation, of course. Okay, so we talk about that at 3pillarsystem.com. That's only $10 per month. Get you started, get you going. Now, if you already closed your 4th or 5th deal, 4 or 5 deals, then pay attention to what I'm about to share with you. If you haven't closed any deal before, it's okay to stick around as well too if you want to do that, and at least have this at the back of your mind that hey, it's a great way to scale, but it's not ideal to start with this strategy. All right. So I already explained what PPC is. It basically means you're paying per every time somebody clicks on your message. Okay. You put a message by way of a video or a text or an image. Okay. It could be a picture, and you put them on Facebook, Google, YouTube, right? And then you place them on Facebook Ads Network or Google Ads Network, right? And then whenever somebody clicks on it, they charge you, they debit you a certain amount of cents. Okay, depending on the market you're targeting, the level of market you're targeting goes in levels. You could target all of United States if you want. It's just a matter of setting it up, right? You could target all of your states. You could target all of New Jersey. You can target all of a particular town, a zip code, or a group of zip codes, right? Or you can even go a little bit further. You can say, I want to target only people that follow Allah. I want to target only people that follow fortune builders. I only want to target people that follow anything real estate investing online. Whereas that would be perfect because a lot of people that go through those fortune builder seminars, that go through any of the seminars out there, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, any of those seminars, those people are ideally, potentially your customers. They could be tired landlords, or they could be people looking to pick up new deals. So you could build your buyers list from there. But there's some other extra, additional levels of nuances that you should understand from a logical standpoint on targeting. Okay, because again, remember, target marketing message, target marketing a message to a market, right? Using the internet is what we're talking about. That's what online ads and PPC is all about. Okay, now, in order for you to get the amount of momentum is everything in business. If you're not getting enough momentum, basically you will shoot yourself on the legs. Okay, if things are not moving fast enough that make your blood rush, right? Like specifically make your blood rush, right? You're gonna get weak, okay? Because your faith is gonna be used in business more than anything else. Okay. The second thing that I think our faith is used the most is obviously relationships in general. But in business, if you haven't been an entrepreneur, your faith has probably never been tested. Okay. So the best way to come and let your faith be tested and build a stronger faith is entrepreneurship. So with that being said, momentum is needed to help you, to position you for you to sustain through that period of time when all you have is belief, right? So another thing, another reason why I want you to wait till the fourth or fifth deal is because at that point in time, it's a fact that you can do deals. It's a fact that you can do business. It's a fact that you know how to find a deal and sell it and make quick buck. And you didn't depend on a W-2 for that. You didn't depend on a boss to help you through that. You hustled and you made that happen all on your own, right? So at that point, I feel like it's a fact that you can do business. Then what you're trying to do is scale up what you already know how to do. But if you haven't closed any deals before, what you have is a belief system. Okay. You have me, of course, you have my story, you have a ton of other people's stories and success stories everywhere. I get that. But what you have is a belief system. I'm going to tell you, there was a time that my business was extremely slow during the years, right? And even those period of time, your faith will still be tested. Your, your abilities will be tested. You will question yourself if you were the one that if you close two deals and then there was like a 4 months period before you close another deal, your faith gets tested all over again. It's almost like you feel like you're a baby all over again in the business, and you feel like, man, like you feel like that wasn't you, like you got lucky or something, like maybe you got lucky and the business doesn't even work. So it's almost like you have to, on every deal, every time you're looking for the next deal, next closing, you have to almost start all over. But let's be realistic, it gets easier, of course, right? So, but you get my point, okay? So that's something I wanted to share with you. Momentum is needed to help you position yourself into the right place of posture so that you know that you're working on something. Momentum is like, it's like results by every second. As it's like you feel results in your brain as you feel the closeness of results. Even before you close the deal, you feel that momentum for every success, for every time you put a house under contract, for every time you get a lockbox on the property, for every time you actually finish a successful conversation with a motivated seller who is still motivated, who still needs to sell. That's another additional proof that this business works. All of that create momentum. So you need to be talking to people. You need to be proactively talking to people. And in order to do just online PPC and online ads and be consistently talking to people, you need to spend a minimum of $1,000 to $2,000 per month on PPC. The marketing budget needs to be high. Okay. If you're not doing that, then basically doesn't mean it won't work, but it will take longer. And if it takes longer before you get a person to call you, the longer it takes, the weaker your mind is, right? And a weak heart, sorry, yeah, like it makes the heart weak. There's a scripture that says, um, I'm trying to think around. It makes the heart weak. Hope deferred, hope, HOPE, deferred makes the heart weak, right? So if you're just hoping, which is all you have, if you haven't closed a deal, and then if it's deferred and it takes longer and longer, it makes you weak, and basically eventually you may end up quitting on yourself. So the other way to pay through that is to have volume, is to have if to is to pay $1,000 $2,000 on Facebook ads, Google ads, and then hopefully something by it. Well, the more you spend, the less hope you're using. All right. But obviously, the closer you are to losing money too. If you go ahead and spend $1,000, $2,000 per month, and 3 months later you've bunched through $5,000 and nobody has called, ask yourself, will you quit? Would you stop? You may say no, but maybe you'll feel different at that point and you'll feel like you should stop. Like maybe this is not going to work. It's definitely make your heart weaker, and you have an increased chance of stopping the whole thing. Not only that, you're stopping prematurely because you've actually lost some money already, and But if you spend $200 on online PPC, online ads, and you got your first call and you close the deal, which I'm sure you probably have seen some success stories, right? You know what that is? They got lucky, okay? Because there's only one. There's not enough data to prove that that's going to be consistent, right? And every time you hear such success story, wait for the second story, wait for the third story. Let them show you some sample data that shows that it's consistent, all right? In that way, there's enough data, right, to claim that that's actually a trend, that that's actually going to work from time to time. And based on my experience, you need to spend a lot more than $200. If you spend $200 and you got that first one, you're still going to spend that two, three, four, $5,000 before you see the next one. And at that point in time, you have information that's basically fake, okay? Because that first $200 made you feel like it's going to happen over and over, but eventually reality is going to kick in, and then you waste money and then you quit, right? So I tell you this: if you haven't closed your fourth or fifth deal, don't try to scale up using PPC. Don't try to do that. But once you close your fourth or fifth deal, that's a fantastic way. Number one, you have enough money in the bank. Number two, you know enough about this business to understand the nuances and all the in-betweens that gets someone to put a house under contract and flip that contract to make money. You understand how the game works. So you're able to put a little bit more at risk. Plus, you already have the other forms of marketing working for you, and you're just taking maybe 20% of everything that's working for you to invest into online PPC and see if it works out for you. See if you enjoy it. See, a lot of time the medium form that you use to market has a lot to do with your personality and what you actually enjoy doing. For me personally, there are some market forms that I don't enjoy doing. On top of the fact that I don't think that enough people measure enough data to see if it's actually a successful strategy, driving for dollars just doesn't click with me. It just doesn't. Okay. There are a few people out there that will swear up and down. That's how they close their first deals or close deals. I I am yet to prove that right or wrong, but honestly, it just doesn't make sense that you'll be driving around town and you're looking for overgrown weeds, take the address down, and then you go skip trace that one ad and then it becomes a deal. That doesn't sound right. If you understand how this game works, it's all about volume and momentum. And there's no way you're going to have volume and momentum driving for dollars. What you're going to have is frustration, either in the snow or in the sun. And you have that one house that you need to skip trace when you could literally sit by your computer, have 1,000 leads and skip trace all of them and start contacting them using automation. Or, yeah, you could actually do that for less than $300, $500 a month. Okay. And you will actually talk to real people and you will actually get some business going, right? It just doesn't make sense. And by the way, driving for dollars, you end up spending that same $300, $500 BSing around town and not getting anything done. Just wanted to throw that out there, right? But besides all of that, it's just not a strategy that my personality is attracted to. It's just not. Okay. So that's what online PPC is. So right now we're gonna go proofread. Okay, let's proofread. I'm gonna share my screen right now so we can proofread this chapter together. You're gonna learn a lot from it, right? And then we're gonna record it together, and then we'll call it a day. But this chapter was fun for me to write. Now after this chapter, I think I have. Let me share this. I think I have another. I think I have another chapter. Let me see here. Scroll down here all the way to here. All right, it's conclusion. Okay, it's only conclusion. So here I'm gonna add one more chapter. Okay, I'm gonna write it, and then we'll have one more of these sessions. Okay, that chapter is about the 7 things needed for successful real estate investing. Okay. So that chapter is very, very important for me to write, and I need to add it to this book because one of the reasons why I will write books is a call to action for people who want to take further actions. So, for example, people that want to invest capital with us, people that want to learn wholesaling as a strategy, and those are our 2 main strategies right there, or people who want to pick up their own deals, pick up their own deals and do their own deals on themselves. Those are the three aspects. So people who want to learn wholesaling, people who want to get into investing, fix and flip by themselves, and people who want to simply provide capital. They have some money and they'll rather just partner with us. That's what that chapter is going to be about. All right, so let's get into this. Online ads on PPC. Most people that struggle to make headway with investing in real estate do so for not knowing how to fill the struggle. Okay, people that struggle. This is the subject. Uh, Most people that struggle to make headway with investing in real estate do so for not knowing how to fill the pipeline with new seller prospects consistently. Some of them who have some experience get stuck on old school methods of finding deals. Being old school doesn't mean it doesn't work. It means that its efficiency and effectiveness in an ever evolving technology driven age are questionable. Online ad platforms and pay per click advertising is the saving grace. Let's go through a few examples. I remember when I launched my real estate investment business back in 2005. I was lucky enough to have learned from some mentors who made it a point to stress source of deals as the very consistent act of marketing. What is marketing and what does it have to do with real estate? Real estate money is created when you cash out on equity built over time or when you buy a property at a price lower than its current market value. As shown previously in this book, there are also creative ways to create cashable value in real estate, but all of them rely on your ability to attract people that you can add some type of value to. Let's be clear, it's not about attracting real estate. It's a typo right there. It's about your ability to attract people. When we send letters, hang signs, knock on doors, cold call, all of it is an attempt to attract people that will buy property from. Hopefully that translates attract people that will buy property. Oh, that we will buy property from. So we're investors, right? So we're looking to buy. Attract people that we will buy property from, buy or sell property, buy property from, or sell property to, because we do that as well, right? Buy property from or sell sell property to. Okay, all of it's an attempt to attract people that we will buy a property from or sell property to, and hopefully that translates to value for them. Said value can be cash sales proceeds, or simply peace of mind, right? Let's see here. All right. This are old school these are old school ways of attracting people, aka motivated sellers. There are much more effective ways to market in efforts to attract people these days. My favorite is My favorite is by online ads via platforms such as Google and Facebook ads. Okay, so I need to restructure a few things here. Let's see. So attracting people at I'm going to say at scale. There are much more effective ways to market in efforts to attract people. Uh, I'm going to say scale marketing. Scale marketing efforts to attract people these days. My favorite is by online ads. This strategy is called pay-per-click advertising, or PPC for short. If you're like most people, you have one or two social media profiles that you spend significant amount of time on per day. But let's look at the statistics. 1.7 billion people on average log on to log on to Facebook daily and are considered daily active users for June 2018, which represents an 11% increase increase year over year. 60% of Facebook's audience would be considered DAU versus monthly active users. The fact of the matter is that the audience you need to be marketing to are actively on social media on a daily basis. Facebook, Google, and many other online platforms allow you to advertise to those audience at a rate a lot cheaper than the traditional methods. So allow you to advertise at scale. At scale. I'm going to say at scale because I need to be specific here. To this audience at a rate, okay, it's important to also note why it's cheaper. With the technologies available today, every response to advertising can be tracked down to the interest level. Remember I said you could target by zip code, as even as far down as all right. That means you can track and tweak your ongoing campaigns according to response rates. If it's working out, you scale up, and if not, you kill it. The response and interest level can be tracked at any level starting from the very first click into ads. That's why it's called pay per click. You only pay when there is an interest evidenced by a click into the ad on the websites and social media. If there are no interest, you don't have to pay a penny, but you will collect meaningful data to use in creating a marketing message compelling enough to attract people. For example, you will know exactly how many people seized your ad. You will also know how many actually clicked on it. The percentage of the number of people who clicked to the number of people who sees is called the click-through rate, or CTR. The higher the CTR is, the more responsive your marketing message is. The best part about that, the advertising media is also rooting for you. Okay. The best part about that is that the best part about that is that the advertising media platform is also rooting for you as well. When your CTR is high, they use that data as an indication that your users are happy to see a message. The algorithms reward you with a lower cost per click, CPC, for that. With the old school methods, you have to work and spend money before you can find out if it works or not. As you can imagine, a lot of resources, including cash, energy, and time, can be managed and preserved better with online and PPC advertising. Your seeds can produce a lot more. Considering this new opportunities, direct mailing through the post office is overpriced. With traditional street bandit signs, many cities consider it littering. In fact, I personally have gotten multiple calls from city code enforcement threatening me with $1,500 for hanging these signs. That's not my idea of freedom. Last but not least, the number one secret of making money in real estate is consistency. One of the hardest things for human beings is consistency. Therefore, it's very important to position yourself for consistency when advertising your message of I buy houses. All right. Response to majority of the old school advertising methods are luck and hope based. Hope deferred makes the heart weak. Remember I said this earlier? All right. So that's natural scripture. Okay. While there are testimonials of people who have successfully used them, myself included, most people just wait and wait and wait until they quit. Cold calling, for example, positions you to borderline have to beg. Okay, so this is the part where I need to readjust what I said here because I have adjusted my position on cold calling. It's the best way for you to get to your first deal. And you can scale cold calling by hiring other people to do the cold calling for you, which is what we do heavily. All right, so that can, you can position properly. But let me finish reading, make because I wrote this about back in October, about 4 or 5 months ago. So, and my position has kind of like shifted a little bit since then. All right, so let's keep going. That is what I mean by positioning for consistency. Consistency is simply easier in certain positions. When you set up your ads that are compelling enough to attract the right sellers, they reach out to you. Being in the position where people get to reach out to you for your offer, reach out to you for your offer, I have double over there. Reach out to you for your offer is a better and powerful position. You and anyone can do that all day long. Find out your favorite exit and entry strategy and do them consistently. Okay, so consistency is simply easier in certain position. So let me adjust here. I strongly suggest that you close your first to fourth deal using code calling, 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 code calling, uh, code calling homeowners, distressed, distressed homeowners. There you go, homeowners. Some suggest that you close your first to fourth deal using cold calling to distressed homeowners. Yes, it's hard. It's hard, but it will build your confidence. Confidence, respect to talking to prospects, negotiations, and negotiation skills. Skills. Yes, it's hard, but it will build your confidence with respect to talking to prospects and negotiation skills. After, all right, so let me just do something real quick here. After after closing your second deal, your first deal, you can scale up by hiring virtual assistants to prescribe. Right, hiring virtual assistants call all your data needs first. Screen for desire sell or not, and scheduling appointments for callback from you. Yeah. After closing your first deal, you can scale up by hiring a virtual assistant to call all your data or leads first, to screen for desire to sell or not, then scheduling an appointment for callback from you. Uh, Once you are closing 2 or 3 deals monthly on a consistent basis, you can then scale your marketing to online ads and P.P.C. All right, so that's the way to do that. Let me just make sure I do this. All right, so this is here. The format here is line spacing 1.5. Line spacing 1.5. Before paragraph 1810. Okay. So make sure my formatting is right. By the way, if you enjoy just watching me do this, please make sure you give me a thumbs up before you leave. I appreciate that. Let's see, format, line spacing. There you go. We do custom 1.5. I think 1810. I think we said that right. Okay, there you go. Let's make sure. I want to make sure everything is uniform. Yeah, 1810. Perfect. All right, so then I'll put this here. All right, so there you go. So let me read this back from here. Cold calling, for example, positions you to borderline have to beg. To borderline, there's a comma here. Borderline have to beg. That is what I mean by positioning for consistency. Consistency is simply easier in certain positions. I strongly suggest that you close your first to fourth deal using cold calling to distressed owners. Yes, it's hard, but it will build your confidence with respect to talking to prospects and negotiation skills. We cover this in our mastermind. Let's see here. Mastermind three pillar. So we also use our books to do promotion for our other product, of course. Three pillars. Cover this in step by step in details. To make it easier. All right. After closing your first deal, you can scale up by hiring virtual assistants to call all your data leads first to screen. I'm going to put comma here to screen for desire to sell or not. It's a fragment at that point. Then they can schedule appointment for you to call back. Schedule appointment for callback from you. Once you're closing two to three deals consistent monthly on a consistent basis, 2 to 3 deals monthly on a consistent basis, you can then scale your marketing to online ads and P.P.C. When you set up ads that are okay, you can even afford to add direct mailing at this point. Mailing at this point. Of your real estate area. Once you're closing 2 to 3 deals monthly on a consistent basis, you can then scale your marketing to online ads and P.P.C. You can even afford to add direct mailing at this point of your real estate investing career. When you set up ads that are compelling enough to attract the right sellers, they reach out to you. Being in the position where people get to reach out to you reach out to you for your offer is a better and powerful position. You and anyone can do that all day long. Find out your favorite exit and entry strategy and do them consistently. My personal favorite is setting up ads online that simply offers for home in any condition in my targeted geographical location as identified by zip and postal codes. PPC and online advertising makes real estate investing a lot more fun after paying your dues. Let me just say that. Feel free to send me an email at tnt@olatalks.com if you like a personal coach or consulting for these strategies. You can also check out olatalks.com, olalawrence.com. Let me just let me see. Do I want this here? No, I'll just put this. Okay, let me take all of this out. We'll put the resource page later. All right, but that's the end of that chapter. That's the end before we go to conclusion. But again, I'm going to write a 16th chapter on the 7 steps, sorry, the 7 elements, the 7 ingredients of successful real estate investing, basically. All right, so let's make sure that we're not missing out here. Okay. All right, so right now we're going to record. Let's see here. Let's turn this off. Start recording. Hello. There you go. Chapter 15, Online Ads and P.P.C. Most people that struggle to make headway with investing in real estate do so for not knowing how to fill the pipeline with new seller prospects consistently. Some of them who have some experience get stuck on old school methods of finding deals. Being old school doesn't mean it doesn't work. It means that its efficiency and effectiveness in an ever-evolving technology-driven age are questionable. Online ad platforms and pay-per-click advertising is the saving grace. Let's go through a few examples. I remember when I launched my real estate investment business back in 2005. I was lucky enough to have learned from some mentors who made it a point to stress source of deals as the very consistent act of marketing. What is marketing? And what does it have to do with real estate? Real estate money is created when you cash out on equity built over time or when you buy a property at a price lower than its current market value. As shown previously in this book, there are also creative ways to create cashable value in real estate, but all of them rely on your ability to attract people that you can add some type of value to. Let's be clear, it's not about attracting real estate. It's about your ability to attract people. When we send out letters, hang signs, knock on doors, cold call, all of it is an attempt to attract people that we will buy property from or sell property to, and hopefully that translates to value from them. And hopefully that translates to value for them. Said value can be cash sales proceeds or simply peace of mind. These are old school ways of attracting people, aka motivated sellers at scale. Let me see. I don't need this here. These are old school ways of attracting people, aka motivated sellers. There are much more effective ways to scale marketing in efforts to attract people these days. My favorite is by online ads via platforms such as Google and Facebook ads. This strategy is called pay-per-click advertising, or PPC for short. If you're like most people, you have 1 or 2 social media profiles that you spend significant amount of time on per day. But let's look at the statistics. 1.47 billion people on average log on to Facebook daily and are considered daily active users for June 2018, which represents an 11% increase year over year. Source: Facebook as of 7/25/2018. 60% of Facebook audience would be considered DAU, that means daily active users, versus monthly active users. The fact of the matter is that the audience you need to be marketing to and actively on social media you need to be marketing to are on sorry the fact of the matter is that the audience you need to be marketing to are actively on social media on a daily basis. Facebook, Google, and many other online platforms allow you to advertise at scale to this audience at a rate a lot cheaper than the traditional methods. It's important to also note why it's cheaper. With the technology that's available today, every response to advertising can be tracked down to the interest level. That means you can track and tweak your ongoing campaigns according to response rates. If it's working out, you scale up. And if not, you kill it. The response and interest level can be tracked at any level starting from the very first click into ads. That's why it's called pay per click. You only pay when there's an interest evident by a click into the ad on the website or social media. If there are no interest, you don't have to pay a penny, but you will collect meaningful data to use in creating a marketing message compelling enough to attract people. For example, you will know exactly how many people sees your ad. You will also know how many actually clicked on it. The percentage of the number of people who clicked to the number of people who sees is called click-through rate or CTR. The higher the CTR is, the more responsive your marketing message is. The best part about that is that the advertising media platform is also rooting for you as well. When your CTR is high, they use that data as an indication that their users are happy to see your message. Their algorithms reward you with a lower cost per click CPC for that. With the old school methods, you have to work and spend money before you can find out if it works or not. As you can imagine, a lot of resources, including cash, energy, and time, can be managed and preserved better with online and PPC advertising. Your seeds can produce a lot more. Considering these new opportunities, direct mailing through the post office is also overpriced. With traditional street bandy signs, many cities consider it littering. In fact, I personally have gotten multiple calls from city code enforcement threatening me with $1,500 for hanging these signs. That's not my idea of freedom. Last but not least, the number one secret of making money in real estate is consistency. One of the hardest things for human beings is consistency. Therefore, it's very important to position yourself for consistency when advertising your message of I buy houses. Response to majority of the old school marketing and advertising methods are luck and hope based. Hope deferred makes the heart weak. While there are testimonials of people who have successfully used them, myself included, most people just wait and wait and wait until they quit. Cold calling, for example, positions you to borderline have to beg. That is what I mean by positioning for consistency. Consistency is simply easier in certain positions. I strongly suggest that you close. I'm going to add this here. I'm going to say, however. Okay. However, I strongly suggest that you close your first to fourth deal using cold calling to distressed homeowners. Yes, it's hard, but it will build your confidence with respect to talking to prospects and negotiation skills. We cover this in our mastermind www.threepillarsystem.com. Step by step in details to make it easier. After closing your first deal, you can scale up by hiring virtual assistants to call all your data and or leads first to screen for desire to sell or not. Then they can schedule appointment for callback from you. Once you are closing 2 to 3 deals monthly on a consistent basis, you can then scale your marketing to online ads and PPC. You can even afford to add direct mailing at this point of your real estate investing career. When you set up ads that are compelling enough to attract the right sellers, they reach out to you. Being in a position where people get to reach out to you for your offer is a better and powerful position. You and anyone, sorry, you and anyone can do that all day long. Find out your favorite exit and entry strategy and do them consistently. My personal favorite is setting up ads online that simply offers for home in any condition in my targeted geographical location as identified by zip and postal codes. PPC and online advertising makes real estate investing a lot more fun after paying your dues, of course. All right, so we got that out of the way. That was about 9 minutes of recording, basically. Let's see here. Hide. Okay, I hope we didn't. All right, let's see here. Let's just make sure that we have. Yep, we have it. Yep, it's about 8 minutes and change. All right, so that's that. Just enough. One of the temptations, of course. Let me put this here. Of course, that's the end of that chapter. All right, so let's go back here. Let me just make sure that we save as. All right, I gotta find it. Look for real estate money secrets. Camp projects, and this is 15. Chapter 15, guys. Chapter 15. All right, save. Awesome. All right, so that was that. That's that training right there. So that's online PPC ads. I still believe. I mean, it's the future, obviously, but a lot of people will lose a lot of money trying to start their career in real estate wholesaling with PPC. And all you're gonna hear on the YouTube channels as testimonials are the few success stories. What you want to pay attention to is how many people are losing money that will never, obviously, for obvious reasons, never make it to a success story or a testimonial, right? So let's use some common sense and some of my experience, inclusive, right? It takes a lot of money to test. When you're running online ads, you have to test. You have to test, and every time you're testing, people are clicking that may be interested in the message, not necessarily in and the offer you're providing. They may be interested in the message, right? They may just be curious, right? So there's going to be a lot of curious people and fewer serious people that will click on your ad, and you will pay every time someone click on that ad, right? So that's why I say it can become very expensive if you don't plan properly. So I say wait until your fourth or fifth deal before you go that route at all, or even direct mailing route. Because direct mailing gets very expensive too. Okay, so use the phone, get on the phone, pound the phone. It's cheaper. Your cost of doing business is it's constant. Okay, it's just that same flat fee every month, and you pound the call until you close your first deal. After your first deal, you hire a person that will do all the calls for you, right? Basically, they're going to be calling a lot of wrong numbers, a lot of bad numbers, a lot of not interested. They screen all those people for you for $300 $400 a month. Okay, and then all you have to do is talk to the people that have real numbers and they've expressed interest in selling. Okay, and then you're scaling up slowly but surely, and you're getting there. And after your fourth or fifth deal, if you choose to, you can scale up. You can decide to scale up more people calling for you and hiring some acquisition managers, or you can decide to go the online route and having people call you directly every time they have a house for sale. Right? So we have to use some wisdom there. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. That's one reason why I write this book, so that people can have enough knowledge, because this knowledge is just not enough. There's some times that you need an ascended knowledge, the wisdom level, with some stories that I shared in the book. SmartRealEstateWholesaling.com. You get a free PDF. You can also get the audiobook. You can get the Kindle or the paperback, just like this one. All right, and if you want to start, you want to step by step how to get started in the game right now, and you want to get to your first deal. If specifically you're trying to get to your first deal, you need to go to 3pillarsystem.com. It's only $10 a month at the moment. We've waived the $197 join fee for now. There's a join fee one time of once at $97 is waived, but you can join for $10 a month. 3pillarsystem.com. You can join us inside. You follow step by step and get your business launched the proper way. All right. So hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. If I said anything or you enjoyed this, please make sure you give me a thumbs up before you leave. You need it to lit blue that thumbs up icon, you need it to lit blue before you leave this video. I would really appreciate that. If you have any questions, contributions, anything like that, leave it in the comment box below, and share this video with anyone you know may enjoy it. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. We'll see you on the next one, and peace.